Recently at one of our Sunday masses at the offertory, when the gifts were brought up, I saw this little one bringing this up, this little scroll. And as he was bringing up, he was smiling at me. I was sitting in the chair, and I thought, oh, it's going to be some little note saying, Father Ed, you are great. Well, it wasn't. Instead, it simply said, I love you, Jesus, with a little handprint on it. I thought, what a wonderful thing to give during the Eucharistic liturgy, because the very fact that we're here means that in our own way, we're all saying that. I love you, Jesus. It's not simple. It means it involves our whole life. And if you think about it, what Jesus is saying to us in the liturgy, and particularly in the Eucharist, is, I love you too. And if you think about what happens at the Eucharist, it is certainly a moment of intense and unimaginable love in many ways. First thing, Jesus gives himself to us. He gives the greatest gift in the universe. He gives himself. He's not just giving us what we happen to ask for that day. He's giving himself. And also, he nourishes us. He nourishes us with the bread of life so that we can go through every day stronger and more resolute in what we're supposed to do, in following his commands. Jesus nourishes us every day. Third thing he does, they're infinite, by the way, but we're only going to do 4. The third thing that the Eucharist does for us strengthens us, strengthens our faith so that we can really become people who believe and hope and act like Christians. Jesus strengthens our faith in the Eucharist. And finally, he heals. He heals the wounds inside of us. The wounds of sin, of division, the wounds of perhaps relationships that have really hurt us. Jesus is there to heal us. And so think of what we receive in this Eucharist. We receive the gift of Jesus himself. We receive the nourishment of the Eucharist, the bread of life. We receive the strength of our faith. And we receive healing. And so that all happens here. And the question is, what do we do when we walk out these doors? Well, we are to continue those gifts that we are given and share them with others. So first of all, Jesus shares himself with us. We are to share our lives with others. We are to give of ourselves. We can't give anything more significant or important than who we are as people, as Christians. And we share our lives with one another. And then nourish. Jesus nourishes us with the bread of life. We can nourish others by simply being there for them, by caring for them, by watching over them. We nourish them by giving them a good example of what it means to be a Christian. And then, if Jesus strengthens our faith, I'm sure most of us ask at times, how do I help strengthen anybody's faith? We live our faith out. We are unafraid to show the importance of the faith for us. And that doesn't mean talking about it all the time or barking at people or yelling at them about it. It means that they see in us the joy and the peace that our faith in Jesus provides for us. That is how we help strengthen others in their faith. And finally, healing. Jesus is the healer, but we can sometimes be his arms and hands, that we can help in the healing of somebody by being there, watching them, praying for them, the most important. We can commend them to the care of Jesus. Today, then, where we think of, I love you, Jesus, and that Jesus is saying right back at you, I love you too. Take what you are given, and you are given a lot. Go out into that world, live it out, make a difference, and you have the gifts to do it. I am giving it to you in every Eucharist, every time we share in the body and blood of Christ.